Welcome back to the Mancave Podcast, y'all. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Stay up to date with all of the episodes and
follow us on Instagram too. You know, Larry don't be posting shit on there.
Man.
Wait till the camera starts rolling to take shots.
This is how we start the episode, bro. That's crazy. So, continue with the theme. We've been kind of like looking at historical figures and historical events from early centuries, even late 1800s, 1900s. Today is probably one of my favorite characters in history. It's almost like mythological, but not really. It's actually a real character, a real person. George, you know who Alexander the Great is?
Yeah, he's the one that was able to pull the sword out of the rock, right?
What?
There was like is that not?
That's not Alexander the Great.
Who is that?
That's King Arthur.
Oh, shit. All right, never mind.
Yeah. So yeah, he pulled sword from stone. I'm pretty sure King Arthur was like a fictional character.
But you just said that.
Kind of. Just
so Alexander the Great is a real person.
Is a real person.
Right.
But
how can you kind of be fictional?
All right, so a little backstory. Alexander the Great was born the son of a king, right? His mother, though, believed that she was like a goddess or like,
okay,
like she had God blood in her veins.
Like every other female on this earth.
Basically, yeah. Basically, superiority complex.
Yeah.
But no, she believed that she was like a relative of Achilles.
Okay.
So she teaches her son, Alexander the Great, who's like a small child at this point, that they're related to Achilles and that Alexander himself is the son of Zeus.
Okay, crazy.
A god, right?
Yeah.
So like imagine walking around.
So Alexander the Great is a demigod, essentially, because that's what the fuck that is.
Right.
Okay.
So he's walking around his whole entire life thinking, I'm a god.
That's a confident walk.
Exactly. Dick just swinging. So he starts doing like all of these like seemingly impossible things. So there's this one thing. Let me find it actually, because I'm going to butcher it.
So he believed so much that he was a demigod that he was doing demigod shit.
Yeah, he was literally living the Odyssey.
Hey, placebo really be working.
It'd be working.
That shit's crazy.
So there was this thing called the Gordian knot. And essentially, like whoever was able to untangle this knot would rule the world. Okay. Basically, like in a nutshell, without going too deep. So Alexander takes his shot at it. Mm-hmm. He doesn't like untangle it per se.
He rips that shit in half.
He cuts it in half. He gets the sword and cuts it in half.
Okay. Is that is that against the rules? Did anybody?
But no, who's to say? Okay. You're a demigod. You make your own rules, right?
Right.
So that happens. Then there's this horse, right? That like grown men are afraid to even get near.
Pegasus.
I don't know the name of the horse actually. Now that I think about it, but yeah, we should look that up. God, George, you really got to do better with this kind of stuff.
Yeah, you know me.
But no, he goes and tames the horse,
the untamable horse,
okay, and rides that shit into his battles.
Nice. At that point, as a dude on the sideline, that motherfucker might be a demigod. He might be the son of Zeus.
Yo, and to add to all of that, one of his teachers was Aristotle.
Yeah, well, what?
Right. Okay. It just makes
it's all coming together.
It's all connecting, right? So he has one of the greatest thinkers of like all ever. Time as his teacher, teaching him philosophy, politics, all of this stuff.
So this is a smart person now with the physicality of a demigod.
Yes.
The skills, like he's 10 out of 10.
He's a legit warrior.
Does he have kids?
I believe he had one child.
One?
If I'm not mistaken.
So he was also faithful, or he just wasn't?
Well, there's a plot twist to Alexander.
Okay.
So, and then
we'll get there.
We'll touch on
trying
that
to skip ahead a little bit. All right.
Yeah, that's all good. I'm used to it. But here are some of the countries that, let me say, I say countries. I mean, I guess they are countries in a sense, but I don't think they were seen as countries back then. I think we kind of like box these places into cities, countries, states, whatever. But here's some of the places that he conquered as a general. Greece, Turkey. Well, I should I should preface by saying he's Greek. So like he conquered a part of Greece. Greece, Turkey, Syria, Phoenicia, Egypt, Mesopotamia, Iran, Afghanistan, and parts of Pakistan. And also Persia. So he conquers all of these damn places, which people thought was like going to be impossible. Mm-hmm. Like literally, there's no way we're doing this. He convinces his soldiers, like before these battles, like half the time they're like, we're gassed, we're exhausted, we don't want to fight. There's a story actually of them trekking through the desert. Everybody's dehydrated. Somebody goes and finds water. He's like, okay, fill the helmet up with the water and bring it to me. Dude does it, brings it to Alexander. Alexander takes the helmet, lifts it up, and then dumps all the water out. And he's basically like, if I drink this water, nobody's gonna fight for me. And then they just went on marching for the rest of the time without water. And they were like, they were so inspired by him. He did such crazy shit. Like they had their enemies on the ropes, right? And instead of him pushing through the battle, he's like, there's this temple I want to go see. Mm-hmm. So he rides off, he goes to see the temple. And they're wondering, like, they're just sitting around, his army's sitting around waiting for him to come back. Like, yo, what's good with him? Yeah. Like, but he's a demigod in his mind. Yeah. So he wants to see like all of the temples that are like, that are built to worship the gods, because he feels like it's part of
that's his house, right?
It's his lineage, right? Yeah. Like, so he just goes around the world conquering these places and taking their art. Now here's some G shit. Okay. Here's some G shit. He's in a battle with Persia. He's winning. So the Persian ruler he's fighting against retreats. Mm-hmm. Bro, so terrified to lose this fight that he leaves his child and his wife behind.
The Persian.
Okay. Yes. Alexander married his wife.
Okay.
It's like,
you think she was like, God, that's a step up,
bro.
Right?
Like the Persian's mother, who was also left behind, said that she was disgraced by her son's actions and then recognized Alexander as
her new son.
Bro, how disrespectful is that?
Damn, bro.
Right.
What do you do as the Persian? You got to go hide in a hole and never come out, bro.
Yeah.
Because your whole country now is going to be like, yeah, no, this dude took over and married this girl. He's going to raise his son.
His mom
don't even fuck with him no more. Like, that's a nasty story.
Nasty ass story. And unfortunately for the Persian, I mean, that wasn't even the worst of it. He was on the run from Alexander for so long that his own soldiers killed him.
Because they didn't even feel like dealing with it no more.
No, they're like, we're tired of fighting. We can't beat this motherfucker. You are not a real ruler. You letting your wife
running off. Yeah.
Ran down on.
You should have already been dead. We're fighting for a useless cause.
Right.
Had you stayed and be the man that you're supposed to be, you would have been dead. We
wouldn't be doing this anymore.
All right.
So they offer his body up basically to Alexander.
Like let us come home.
Right. We on your side now.
Yeah.
And I believe he kills them for that.
Good. Because my logic, if I'm him, right, this is my job to do.
Right.
How fucking dare you?
Not only that, imagine you have a dog. And just because you stop feeding a dog, it bites you. Mm. You put the dog up for adoption. I go get the dog. I want to know, hey, why is this dog here? Oh, he bit his last owner. I don't want that fucking dog. Not trustworthy. Right. You're just going to bite the first hand that you can get. So I don't want to deal with it.
I see that. Loyalty.
Right. So people like...
So that's his son? Or he actually had another son?
No, he actually has a son. Okay. So the plot twist, right? Alexander does all of this. He's like a man's man, you know? Like he takes other dudes' wives, does as he pleases. Yeah. Like people are worshiping him. He conquers Egypt. They treat him like the pharaoh. He's just next level doing all this shit. That's
crazy. Okay.
Right. What do you think the plot twist is though?
Oh man.
Dude's basically perfect.
Yeah. I don't know.
He's gay.
Well, Alexander the Gay. Huh?
So he wasn't gay in like the sense that we understand gay.
It was just like he could have whoever he wanted.
He was gender fluid is what we would probably call it.
Okay. It was just like he fucks the personality.
Bo was just horny from what I understand. So I think what?
And only had one kid?
Well, I mean, men can't get pregnant. So.
I know, but there's got to be more. If he's fucking anything.
But he's also at war all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably sleeping more with men. There's even like writing from some of his teachers that have said like, oh, he prefers the company of men. But like he's on the field with them all the time. Like
he's like, damn, look at the way that man swings that sword. I can't wait to swing that sword later.
Yeah, you going crazy.
That's what I mean.
You're going crazy. Nah, you inserting yourself into his story and came up with that.
Hey, we've been talking about his whole story for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And we've been like imagining it. Now we gonna stop because it's gay?
I mean, yeah, George. Like usually, like straight men have a line that they draw.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
My bad. That was on me.
Yeah, you know, it's a such thing as being like too imaginative. Like, yeah, it's probably what you're suffering from.
Oh shit. Okay.
But yeah, so you know, one of his generals was like also like a close friend of his. That was supposedly like his number one lover.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that had a part to play in why he didn't have as many children as somebody like a Genghis Khan would have.
Right.
Genghis Khan was just out here creating half of Asia.
Right. So how does his story end?
So Alexander the Great, I think he lives until he's like in late 20s, early 30s.
So Genghis Khan lived longer than him.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Alexander the Great died in a fucked up way though. So he's basically lying here. And you know, his advisors and his generals and all these people are gathering around him trying to figure out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
He's not moving.
He got AIDS?
They thought he was dead.
Uh-huh.
Turns out though, after like archaeologists do their whatever voodoo they have, he may have had like a parasite or a neurological disorder. So he's laying here conscious, but not able to move.
Okay.
And then his people buried him.
Alive?
Alive.
So he was paralyzed.
And they buried him alive.
Yikes.
Right.
Imagine having the glorious life that you've had to be buried alive.
By a fucking parasite. It's wild. And then all of his generals and shit turned on each other to seize power.
Of course.
As it always ends.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I mean, when I think about like some of my favorite like figures in history, he's for sure is up there just because of the sheer amount of shit that he accomplished.
Off the strength of like, I can do this.
And like, he just had this like indomitable will. Like he went into every battle thinking like, there's no way we lose.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you're like a 300 type situation,
mm-hmm.
like they're outmanned. He found a way to win every single time.
Yeah. And that motivates you.
Well, I feel like there's a twist.
No, I'm just trying to, we're having a conversation.
Yeah.
I'm trying to add in some conversation.
That motivates.
That motivates you. Or just that part.
See, I knew it.
What?
I knew he was trying to do something.
What?
I knew he was trying to do something.
I just want to know where does it stop?
Yeah. There.
Right.
Yeah. Right there. That's good. Yeah. I admire strong characters. I admire people who don't
know what they want.
They don't have limiting beliefs.
Go get it. Right?
Yeah, George. Yeah. You sound real Bill Cosby-ish, but
me? I'm just trying to understand
George
where you're
Kelly.
coming from.
No. You ain't trying to understand nothing.
You like him. You fuck with his energy, right? Because he would go conquer what he wanted. You think he ever got conquered, if you get what I'm saying?
Wow. Nah, he don't strike me as the type, but you never know.
Hey.
You over here asking me these wild ass gay questions.
I would think you said the general was like his favorite.
Yeah.
Why would he like, Wouldn't it be like a chain of command thing once he died? Like he should take reign?
Yeah, but also like if Alexander doesn't appoint somebody, and I don't know if he does, maybe somebody in the chat will point that out. If he doesn't appoint somebody, it's like dying and not having a will. Mm-hmm. Now your kids have to decide like who gets what. Like, no, the ones who feel like they're the strongest or the oldest, whatever, they're going to try and take control of the situation.
Gotcha.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, I guess. But so he's from, you said Greece?
Yeah.
So
Macedonia.
His death, did that lead, you said it led to chaos in Greece?
Yeah.
Like a downfall? Like,
in a sense, yeah.
I would assume
because he had the greatest army on that side of the world.
What's the world got to think at that point, right? This guy's going conquering all these places, unstoppable force, dies at 20 something.
Right.
Right. And nobody really knows why, right? They were just like, well, he just stopped moving.
Yeah.
Right. They can't explain it. He just stopped moving.
Right.
What is your thoughts as a person, just an everyday person in that time, being like, oh, the gods were displeased with him. They stopped him, right? Like to be 20 something conquering all this stuff. And then you just stop moving.
Probably.
That would be my, like, yo, the gods wanted him out of the picture.
Yeah. Facts.
Especially if you're like, yo, he is a demigod, right? He was doing shit he wasn't supposed to do down here.
Right.
I would think that would be the argument.
Yeah. And at the same time, they're probably like, yo, he died from exhaustion.
Right.
Because the way he pushed himself and the people around him, it was like no way that you live that kind of life and be an old man.
Right.
Like it's going to take its toll on you.
And boy, was he pushing.
Man, I probably should have left that shit out of the eppesode because
he was pushing.
Wow.
Pushed himself into the ground. We're talking about the wars. I don't know where your head's at, but I'm thinking about how he pushed himself to greatness.
Yeah, he did.
Alexander the Great.
Alexander the Great. Yeah.
The pusher, the great pusher of time.
Nah, but he had a funny way of like ruling. So there was one time where, because you were talking about like how are people seeing him? Mm-hmm. And that's what's making me think about this. So I believe it was Athens had basically like revolted against him. And they were like, yo, like you've conquered too many places. Like you can't rule all of these countries effectively. You're not here. There's no way. There's no social media, like no email.
Right. How are you supposed to do that from the distance? Like
right. From 200 miles away, whatever.
Right.
So there was another place that had revolted against him. I can't remember the name of it, but basically he obliterated that shit so bad that Athens turned around and it was like, yeah, sorry about that. Bro. Yeah. And then the Greeks who were in his army were like, yo, like spare them. So he did out of kindness just to show like, yo, I could be a fair ruler.
Yeah.
Like, I don't got to Thanos this, you know, everybody don't got to catch these hands.
Yo, history is like, I've never liked history in school because the teachers taught that shit the most boring fucking possible way ever.
Yeah. But
it's actually awesome. Like history is so dope.
Yeah. Some of it, yeah.
I mean, horrible shit happened, but learning about it is still like
cool.
Right, yeah. Because it happened. How do you think our 2025 is going to be written about in 3025?
2025 specifically, I feel like, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm leaning one political direction or another, but bro, it is not a good look that Trump came into office, rolled back a bunch of aviation policies and shit.
2 planes crash in a week.
Bro.
Yeah.
2 planes, a helicopter.
Which also, I'm not a big conspiracy theory guy. Right. I like hearing them, but I don't believe in them.
Yeah.
But how the fuck does a Black Hawk military chopper crash into a plane?
Well, apparently it's not that uncommon for helicopters to be in DC, just like out and about.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're a Black Hawk. Like I've seen footage.
Yeah.
Like of people, like pilots in Black Hawks. These people are phenomenal pilots.
Oh, the pilot was being trained.
Okay.
So, but even then, like,
so
to
it was
point,
a DEI thing.
Well, I think she was a woman.
Now, never mind, conspiracy over.
But even then, like, whoever's training her is supposed to have control
Correct.
over what's happening. So,
and this was at night.
Yeah.
Why are we training a pilot at night? I mean, I guess you have to get your night hours. Like, it would assume that would have to be a part of the play. That's fucking crazy. But yeah, the timing is questionable. Like,
it's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. And I feel like people are going to connect the two. Even if you are a staunch Trump supporter, there's no way you look at January 25th. He does all of these things, all these executive orders, one of which is, I'm getting rid of people, air traffic controllers or people who work in, airlines.
Yeah.
And now just for the next week, planes dropping out of the sky left and right. Mm-hmm. Even in I think in Chicago today, I think it was like the luggage carrier or something that assists the planes crashed into a fucking plane on the runway.
What?
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, there's no such thing as coincidence.
I don't think so.
This is all connected, bro.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, history, like I was saying, when you read on it, it's like dope because it's like territories, right? It's like this person had beef with these people for this reason, and then they did this thing, right? I just don't imagine in 3025 people are going to be like, that's a dope history lesson. I don't think it's going to be.
It's not sexy.
It's not going to hit the same way talking about fucking Alexander the Great.
Nah, for sure. And I think because back then there was less rules.
Right. So people was just doing shit for greatness.
And maybe that's what Trump is trying to do is he's trying to shake up so much shit in his last 10 years on Earth, however long he has. The bro is 80 plus at this point. He's trying to shake up so much shit that people will look back and be like, yo.
You remember Trump?
Yeah. The orange bomber.
That man shook the earth.
Yo, dead ass.
My man beefing with Canada.
Everybody.
How do you beef with Canada?
I don't even know.
We don't want no trouble, eh?
Hey,
and then he fucking this guy over here.
Beef Crody.
Bro, fucking beefing with Canada is nasty work.
Especially when they're next door.
Right there.
It's like you come outsid, punch a neighbor in the face and go back in the house.
Fuck you. I know where you live, bro.
Right. Like dead ass.
All right, man. Yeah. Did you want to do the chat GPT thing that I said we could?
Sure, yeah, let's do it.
All right. So in honor of Black History Month, Larry's favorite month, do you wake up in the morning just feeling stronger? Like, you know how
it's February.
Yeah, you know how Goku walks out of the hyperbolic time chamber just feeling ready to go?
No, actually Goku walked out of that hyperbolic time chamber feeling unaccomplished.
When he was by himself or with Gohan?
With Gohan.
Well, because he knew what Gohan was ready to do.
Yeah.
He knew he was
underachieving.
He was prepping Gohan, if anything. He? Yeah.
No, I think he just knew that his son was stronger than him. We're getting derailed. It's okay. It's okay.
Anyway, a few years back, I asked the question on the show about, I asked Larry, what characters can be perceived as Black, even though they might not be Black, and be celebrated during Black History Month?
And let them know what examples you had last time.
So I had Piccolo, which is classic. I mean, you're not going to sit here and tell me he isn't Black. And then I had Darth Vader, which people were like, oh no, he's white. No, he's Black, right? The armor's Black. His character traits are Black.
His character traits. Because George's argument was because he left his children.
They had to take his kids away from him.
He's Black. Okay.
All right. So I asked ChatGPT, right? What are fictional characters that aren't Black but can be perceived as Black? Right? And
oh my God, this is about to be so politically correct.
ChatGPT definitely said Piccolo first on the list.
Did it really?
Yeah, often seen as having the demeanor of a wise Black mentor was what he said, right?
Fuck out of here.
Knuckles from Sonic is Black. Then there was some other Static Shock is here, but he's Black, right?
Yeah, that was
in the show. I don't know why.
ChatGPT.
They said Shredder from Ninja
Turtles. Shredder's Japanese, right? Yeah, that was a reach.
Let's see. Cyborg is Black, of course.
Obviously.
You see, they did put Vader on this list.
Did they really?
Yeah, voiced by James Earl Jones.
Let me see what the actual explanation is, though. Voiced by James Earl Jones, his commanding voice and presence have led to him being perceived as Black-coded. despite being
Black
a white
coded.
passing character under black coded is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Green Lantern. Oh, there is a black Green Lantern.
Yeah.
So that's just a couple. They had some other ones in there that I'm not familiar with. Barrett Wallace is a Final Fantasy character. I'm not sure if you ever played it.
Barrett is black.
So there you go.
Oh my God.
While explicitly a Japanese interrepresentation of a black man is what they both here. Jet Black, Cowboy Bebop. Is he a black character?
Jet is, I guess that's a good one.
Despite his name, Jet isn't explicitly black, but his deep voice, mannerism, and jazz blues aesthetic lead many to see him as a black coded character.
First of all, you've never watched Cowboy Bebop?
Mm-mm.
Go watch it. Classic anime. Actually, I don't even know if you want to call it. I guess it is. Classic show. But yeah, I'm having a hard time 100% agreeing with that one. Because Jet is cool as shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I guess I'll give it. ChatGPT. it's close, so I'll give it to him. Yeah.
I mean, obviously Piccolo and Knuckles being the two on the list. ChatGPT had those.
Yeah.
Then it was like, grasping at straws for the other ones.
Well, Vader. There.
No, Vader's spot on.
Spot on.
Me and ChatGPT knew what was going on.
It's because of James Earl Jones, though. You can't use a black voice and then think that the character is going to be perceived as white. It's not going to work.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Let's check who voiced Piccolo.
That's a good question.
Yeah,
because they definitely have black energy. Let's see.
Okay. Nope. This dude is definitely not black. Holy shit.
Why does they come?
Christopher Sabat. Okay, well, I'll shut the fuck up.
Hey, but he did his thing.
He definitely did.
He was like, I'm going to do black voice.
Maybe he had some weed before he started recording. Get a little soulful.
Right. So I thought that would just be a fun way to end the episode.
That was cool.
Throw back to another one. Yeah. Callback, I guess, is what
callback.
But I hope you guys enjoyed. Shout out to Larry. I hope you guys enjoy the history lessons that he's been giving the last few weeks.
History lessons as well.
Because I'm not the best at research. I might Google some shit, and then whatever Google says in the first paragraph, I will make into a full episode. Larry goes beyond that.
Wow,
so shout out
crazy.
to you. Appreciate the work.
I think this is the first time I didn't use any videos, and I just felt like I felt like cheating in a way. I'm like, I'm using somebody else's.
Yeah, or somebody else's words, Joe Rogan. But no, shout out. I think it was a good episode.
Thank you.
If you guys enjoyed it, fuck everybody.
Wow.
He left me hanging. Leave a like.
Yes.
Hit the subscribe button, which is right there. Next to the subscribe button, there's a bell that lets you know when we release videos.
Yeah, make sure you turn the bell on.
We also have the Mancave Productions, which we are dropping like skits on. We have plans for short films, and some other stuff that we're going to be putting on there. So make sure you check that out.
Yep.
And then follow Larry on Instagram. What's your Instagram?
Yo. Are you the LMFAO person? Was that you commenting on the YouTube trying to get the $50? Because this person like never came back for the money.
I didn't do any LMFAO.
Okay.
No, I don't have
Okay.
Oh yeah, you were supposed to give $50 to somebody.
They don't want it, so I guess
comment now if you want $50. See if Larry's gonna give you some money.
That time passed, motherfuckers. We'll see you next week.